"Do you believe in secret messages?" Sophie asked, her voice barely a whisper. Mark raised an eyebrow. "What kind of secret messages?" Sophie glanced around, as if checking for eavesdroppers, then leaned closer. "A little girl keeps making this odd hand signal every time she sees me. I thought it was just a quirk at first, but now I'm not so sure." Mark's face grew serious. "Sophie, you need to be careful. Sometimes signals are a cry for help." That's when Sophie realized this wasn't a kid's game, it was something far darker. In the lively sprawl of Chicago, amid towering skyscrapers and bustling streets, sat a snug little spot called the Oak Diner. It was a haven where folks from all walks of life grabbed a hot meal, a coffee, and a slice of calm. Among the staff was Sophie Bennett, a young waitress known for her warmth, bright smile, and knack for making every customer feel welcome. She treated everyone with the same kindness, turning strangers into regulars. Sophie had been at the Oak Diner for 3 years, loving it not just for the paycheck, but for the purpose it gave her, listening to people's tales, sharing laughs, and sometimes offering a comforting ear. Her co-workers respected her hustle, and regulars often asked to sit in her section. One such regular was the Carter family, who rolled in every Sunday after church. A dad, a mom, and their shy 7-year-old, Grace. Grace had wide hazel eyes and a timid smile, and Sophie always gave her a little extra love, slipping her a coloring sheet or a treat with her meal. Over time, Sophie noticed something odd. Grace made a distinct hand gesture whenever Sophie neared their table. It was subtly, quick flick of her fingers, but consistent. At first, Sophie chalked it up to a kid's habit, smiling and moving on. But weeks passed, and the signal kept coming, deliberate and steady. Something about Grace's eyes when she did it, pleading, almost started gnawing at Sophie. One night after her shift, Sophie met her best friend, Ryan Carter, at a nearby cafe. Ryan worked for the CIA, tight-lipped about his job, but Sophie trusted his instincts when she was stumped. Over coffee, she spilled about Grace and the strange signal. Ryan listened, his frown deepening. "That's weird," he said finally. "Kids do random stuff, but this feels off. Have you asked her what it means?" Sophie shook her head. "I didn't want to spook her. She's so quiet, and her parents are always there. I don't want to overreach." Ryan leaned back, gears turning. "I don't like it, Sophie. Let me dig into the Carters. I'll see if there's anything sketchy." Sophie hesitated, prying felt wrong, but her gut screamed trouble. "Okay," she said, "but be careful, Ryan. I don't want to stir up a mess." A few days later, Ryan called, his tone clipped. "Sophie, stay cool, but I checked the Carters. The guy you see with Grace? Not her real Dada's, her stepfather. Her biological father, James Carter, has been fighting for custody for years. Grace's mom took her after the divorce, and there's a restraining order against James. He hasn't seen her in over 2 years." Sophie's stomach dropped. "That's awful, but why the signal? What's it mean?" "No clue," Ryan admitted. "Talk to James. He might know." Sophie wrestled with it for days. Meddling in family drama wasn't her style, but Grace's silent plea haunted her. She tracked down James's address and showed up after work. He was a tall, sturdy guy with gentle eyes and a tired look. When Sophie explained herself, he welcomed her in. His place was simple but neat, walls lined with Grace's photos. "My ex-wife left me for a rich guy," James said, voice shaky. "She took Grace and cut me off. I've been battling in court, but her new husband's loyalties kept me away. I haven't seen her in so long, I don't even know if she remembers me." Sophie's throat tightened. "She does," she said softly. "She's been signaling me." She mimicked the gesture. James's eyes lit up, then broke. "That's our secret sign. I taught it to her when she was tiny. It means I love you. She's asking for help." Sophie's heart ached for them both. "I'll help you," she said, resolute. "I don't know how, but we'll get her back." Over the next weeks, she watched the Carters closely at the diner. The stepfather, Tom, hovered over Grace, controlling her every move. She barely spoke, her voice a murmur when she did. Sophie's resolve hardened. One day, she tailed them after they left, curious about their life. Their car led to a ritzy suburban, sprawling house with gates and cameras. Sophie parked far off, watching. Tom rarely left, always with Grace's mom. Grace? Never outside. Suspicion swelled. She roped Ryan in again. With the CIA ties, he dug deeper. Tom had a rap sheet money laundering, trafficking, domestic abuse. The puzzle clicked, and Sophie knew time was short. Then Michael called, frantic. Sophie, Grace's school says she hasn't been there for a week. I'm freaking out, something's wrong. Her pulse raced. Meet me at the diner tonight. We'll figure it out. After hours, Sophie, James, and Ryan huddled up. Confronting Tom was risky. Police might tip him off with his connections. Instead, they'd gather proof. Ryan tapped his resources. Sophie kept watch. One night, staking out the house, she saw Tom shove a huge suitcase into his car. Dread hit her. She called Ryan. He's planning to bolt with Grace. We've got to move. Ryan agreed. I'll tip the cops with what we've got. Meet me there. They arrived as police swarmed, catching Tom off guard. He fought, but they pinned him. Inside, Grace was locked in a small room, scared but safe. Her mom, stunned, swore she didn't know Tom's plan. As Tom was cuffed, James ran to Grace. She clung to him, sobbing, Daddy, I knew you'd come. Sophie watched. Tirothy'd done it. Tom faced charges: kidnapping, abuse, more. Grace's mom, seeing the truth, gave James full custody. He offered Sophie a hefty reward, but she waved it off. Seeing you two together is enough. Still, he set up a trust fund for her and pitched a job at his firm. Sophie declined. She loved the diner, its people, its heartbeat. Grace blossomed with James, starting fresh at school, dancing, and often swinging by for milkshakes with Sophie, her hero. Sophie kept serving at the Oak Diner, lighter and stronger, knowing a small kindness could change everything. And Grace? She grew up with her dad's love, thanks to the waitress who heard her quiet call.